Oh my goodness! It's Friday, fellas, so it is time to fill this glass. It's time to delve inside the fridge of commercial craft beers, pick one out and see what we think about it. And today we have got, we have got this one, which is the Siren Craft Brew Half-Mast Sessionable IPA. Beautiful label. Now, I have had beers from these before. The last one I had was an oatmeal pale ale, and that was friggin' awesome. I can't off the top of my head remember what that one was like, but it must have been good because I kept the bottle so I could put the label on the kegerator fridge. And so I'm expecting good things from this. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. It's a sessionable IPA coming out at 2.8% ABV, so this is a definite sit back all day long and drink them while you can, while the sun's out, if it tastes as flavourful as a proper IPA, a traditional IPA of a higher ABV. But they say on here a flavour packed sessionable IPA, so I'm expecting good things. Why would they lie to us? Why would people lie? Eh? But we're going to find out, so let's get it cracked open and into a glass. Got the old church key. Oh, good hiss. Oh my goodness. That smells just like a punk IPA. Just smelling it out of the bottle. Tons of grapefruit. My goodness. Give it a pour. My goodness. What am I doing? Just pour it. Why have you stopped? Nutter. So as always, I'd like to thank our channel sponsors, BeersOfEurope.co.uk. They are the biggest online beer store in the UK. My goodness, why do I do that every time? Overfill it while I talk. But go and check out their shop. The selection is vast. So we've overfilled it again while we were talking, and a wasp has joined us again. Why do they bother me at review time? Go away. It's gone. So it has poured a lovely meringue head, a lovely copper colour. The carbonation is just about streaming up the glass, and I can smell it from here, guys. So straight away it is giving all them traditional aromas of an IPA. Oh yeah, yeah. If you poured me this out and just passed it to me and said, what is this? I would say a punk IPA. It just smells like the Brewdog Punk IPA. That grapefruit sort of dankness that's in there. Wow. So let's see if the flavour matches the aroma. And if the flavour matches the aroma and it's all good, then they've pulled off an incredible sessionable IPA. Cheers, guys. Flies everywhere, mother hubbers. Cheers. God damn it. You know what? Well, that is not so good for the flavour. It's not as ram-packed on the flavour as it is on the aroma. The aroma's promising so much, and the flavour's not really giving it to you. So the first thing that strikes me about it is the body is very thin. It is really thin, and you get this real sort of zesty sourness straight away. It's almost like you bit into the skin of a grapefruit. You get this real sharp, tangy grapefruit sourness that runs over the whole palate, and with that bitterness from the hoppage, it's really sort of a real bitter, almost like a citrus sour flavour that's running from front to back. There's a good amount of carbonation in it as well, but it's not lifting everything. It's not giving you much excitement. It's a very bland flavour. and because it's a bland flavour with the very, very thin mouthfeel and not really picking up much of the malt, so it's just this tart, citrus tartness as well as the bitterness. That's really all you can taste. It's the nearest thing I could. Well, that's a real mouth slap. Sorry. The nearest thing I can put the flavour to is with the carbonation and the sort of bitterness is carbonated water, sparkling water. You know that flavour you get, that sort of CO2 flavour that's in the water, obviously. Yeah, because it kept that ABV down, kept it down to 2.8, so there's not a huge amount of malts in it to start with, obviously. And so the body is lacking, tremendously lacking. Now, if you had just sort of run a marathon, or you'd had a ridiculously bad day at work, working outside, red hot, and you are just gasping for something that's refreshing, then possibly you would reach for one of these and it would go down a treat, because it really finishes dry. It's got this tartness, like I said, that just runs through with the bitterness, but nothing really much more. It would be like just reaching for a glass of water, I guess. The same sort of thirst quenching experience you'd get from drinking a glass of water when you've been in the sun all day is what you get here. So I'm not impressed with this one at all. Not impressed. On a positive note, it's very clean. There is a slight hop grapefruitness that's running through it, but like I said, it's mainly just this tart sort of grapefruit skin. The bitterness is just too much for this because there's nothing balancing it. You've got this incredible bitterness that's coming in, but no residual sweetness, which is balancing it out. Heavily hopped, but with low bitterness. This beer pops with notes of mango and grapefruit, the perfect summer beer. There's not a vast amount of balance in this. It's all bitterness and no residual sweetness, like I said, to balance it out. Heavily hopped with low bitterness. I would not say that that is low bitterness. It's probably, when they were brewing it, probably coming out on their Beersmith equivalent, that it is going to be a low IBU, but because of the lack of body, the lack of residual sweetness in it, that bitterness is really noticeable, whereas the same amount of bitterness in a higher ABV beer, you probably wouldn't notice it as much. So there we go. Anyway fellas, that is it. If you are in the mood for something that is light-bodied, very light-bodied, almost water-esque, and you like the very, very, very dry finishing IPAs with an abundance of bitterness and a sort of tart finish that's coming from the grapefruity flesh flavour, then this is the one for you. But for me, it just ain't ticking all the boxes. Never mind, can't like them all. But that's it guys. As always, I will leave a link below directly to this beer on BeersOfEurope.co.uk, as well as their main shop. Go and peruse their stock, and that is it. Not for me, I'm afraid. Not for me. Well, that is it, fellas. That is it for another review. And don't forget to thumb up this video in case you don't want to do. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a little red button down here that says subscribe. Click it and you won't miss out on what's coming up next. And share the video, get it out there for all to see. Until next time, I'm out of here.